Hello programmers. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use functions in Python. Now some notes. Firstly, I apologize for the long delay between videos. And secondly, you may notice I'm using a new editor. This editor is the exact same, just it means I don't have to juggle around multiple windows. It's called PyCharm. I really suggest you download it. It's very easy to use and just makes life easier. Now today I'm going to be teaching you how to use functions in Python. I don't know why I've called it modules. Silly me, I'll just rename it. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use functions in Python. Now you will be learning to use modules in a later video. Who has to rename? So you can look forward to that in future. Rename. Okay, I just have to go with it. Okay, so functions are basically a block of reusable code that will give something back and return something. So for example, imagine we had a machine, right? That you'd take a number. You may have seen these in tests at school. You would take a number and they would do something to that and they would return a number. That's a bit like what functions do, apart from it can be with strings, booleans, which are true or false, and integers, floats, anything. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, well, what use of function is going to be to me? Well, actually, at the level you're probably programming it now, that might not be very useful. You're probably only going to be using very occasionally. But as you get more and more advanced with Python, you're going to find yourself using functions for almost everything, because it just saves time. You could program without functions, but it would be very, 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 very annoying when you get to projects where you have to keep calling functions up in game development and stuff like that. Okay, now as you can see, we have a function here. What does all of this code do? Well, it's actually quite simple. So, what this code is doing, let's start off with this bit. This is basically creating a function. Okay, so once again, I want you to ignore all the stuff with a hashtag in front of it for now. That we'll go to that later in the video. But as you can see, we have def. Def is a keyword, and that's basically saying to the computer, okay, your computer, I want to be ready. I'm about to create a function, just to let you know. Okay? Then we have the name of the function. And you're probably thinking, and my advice is don't start it with a capital letter in Python. And I like to use this naming convention. However, you can use this naming convention just as well. And use an underscore between the words, but I think that takes longer, so I just use this. Okay, now as you can see here, we have parameters. Now parameters are a little bit more difficult to explain. They're like variables that are defined there when you're calling the function, as you can see down here. And basically what this is saying is, okay, so this is what I want you to use. I want you to do whatever is inside the function to this. That makes it a little bit more complicated, but it will make more sense as time goes on. So now the user will input a name, as you can see down here, and then I can use that name as a variable basically. And as you can see, I'm printing name, as we saw in the first tutorial. But this by itself is a useless bit of code. It's not going to do anything. Since we haven't called the function. And this is how we call a function. What we're doing is we're basically calling the function by saying the name of the function, username, and then we have to fill in the parameters. And as we said, parameters are like variables that are created on the spot and are only able to be used by that function. So here we have the variable code. We've created a string called code_learn_make, and now this function is going to go through this, but instead of treating name as name, it's going to treat it as code_learn_make. So we run this code, we get code_learn_make printed out, because we're saying I want you to print out name, which is, and in this function, name is assigned here to code_learn_make. But you're probably thinking, does that mean whenever I call this function, it's going to always be print code_learn_make? No, it's not, because when I call the function down here, I can get it to print anything I want. I can get it to print Bob, for example. As you can see, now it's going to print. Why hasn't done it? That's so weird. That is actually... No, I forgot to save. That's weird, but it should do it. Let me just comment this out. That's weird. Oh, of course I'm using the wrong one. No, I'm not. Okay, I'm going to cut the video here. And I'm going to come back to you when I fixed it. Run. Modules. No. Delete. Run. Okay, hello again, welcome back to the video. Now, that was just a little bit of a glitch in PyCharm, and I'll be sure to write to the developers of PyCharm about it. Now, just to help you, if you're finding it's not running, the file you have open is not running, just click on the file you want to run and click Run Modules 1. Quite simple, but useful to know. Anyway, let's get back. So as you can see now, when we run the program, it's printing Bob. And if we uncomment this code, it's going to print Bob and code learn make. Now this seems a little bit complicated, but it's really not. Basically, once again, as we're saying, we're creating variables that only apply that one time we're calling the function. Okay? So in this case, it's going to run through treating name as code learn make, and in this case, it's going to run through treating name as Bob. Quite simple. But now we're going to do something a teeny bit more complicated, but more and more useful later on. Okay, so right now you're probably thinking, why is that? What's return? And return is another keyword. Okay, so what the return is doing is it's basically saying, okay, like the random number machine, it's basically saying, okay, I'm going to give you a number, but I'm not going to do anything with this number. I'm just going to give it back to you. So it's like me writing you a letter, and I'm giving you the letter. I'm not printing it out. I'm not doing anything. I'm just giving you the letter so you can use it however you want. And as you can see here, we have used it. We've called the print command, and we're basically saying, okay, I want you to print out whatever the result of username, whatever gets returned from username when we have code learn make as the parameter. And as you can see, that returns hello code learn make, because we set it to return that. We set it to return hello followed by name, which is code learn make. Okay, now you're probably thinking, that's really useful, but what if I want to have multiple parameters? Okay, this is fun. Now we're going to go back to using our print, because it's easier to illustrate. We're going to go back to using print. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a new parameter called age. Okay. Now, this is the exact same as before. All this is doing is it's creating a second variable that we have to say. So now what we can do is we can also get to print name and print age. And once again, all this is saying is, okay, I've created two variables that are created when I call the function, and then I'm going to call those two variables here and here. And now, if I wanted to use those variables, now when I run the code, I will get an error, because as you can see, I haven't filled in all the parameters. So now I'm going to put an age of 98. Okay, 098. I'm going to put in Bob here and an age of I can't, like 99,199. 090. What's wrong with that code, man? Okay, so as you can see here, what we've basically done is we've basically done the exact same, but we've created two, but with two parameters. So if you don't understand this, I will explain it to you in the comment section, but I'm going to go through it quickly again. In this video, we have learned how to create functions and how we begin with the keyword def, followed by the name of the function and any parameters we want. We have learned that return gives you back a value, but it doesn't do anything with it. And we've also learned that you can have multiple parameters, and parameters are kind of variables that you can use but only in that function. That once, when you call it. And when you call a function, you say that you call the name of the function, in this case username, and then you fill in the parameters. You can get errors if you don't fill in the parameters right. So if I took away these quotation marks, there would be an error. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next video, where I'll be teaching you to use modules. After that, the good news is we will be moving on to something extreme. We will be moving on to the exciting world of random number generators. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.